What does parse mean? The slides are organized by part of speech. First up, verbs. If I ask you to parse a verb, you need to give me 5 things. Person, number, tense, voice, and mood. Person and number tell you about the subject of the verb. If the subject is I or we, that's first person. The subject is you, that's second person. If the subject is he, she, it, or they, that's third person. Number also tells you about the subject. How many subjects are there? If it's one, it's singular. If there's more than one, it's plural. Tense, we only know one tense so far, and that's present. Voice, we know 2 voices. It's active, and we know middle. Mood, we know 3 moods. The indicative, which states facts, the imperative, which states commands, and the infinitive. So, for example, if I ask you to parse luometha, you need to give me the person, which is first, the number, which is plural, the tense, which is present, the voice, which is middle, and the mood, which is indicative. If I ask you to parse akuane is an infinitive. What infinitive literally means is not bounded by person and number. So there is no person and there is no number. The verb is infinite, unbounded by person and number. It does, however, have tense, which is present, and voice, which is active, and the mood is infinitive. If I ask you to parse a definite article, a noun, a pronoun, or an adjective, you need to give me 3 things: gender, number, and case. Sometimes I'll abbreviate this as GNC. So the first example is a definite article plus a noun, hoi Andres. The gender is masculine, the number is plural, and the case is nominative. Ego, the pronoun, is the same form for all 3 genders. So that means that the form ego tells you nothing about the gender of the person that it refers to. It could be masculine, feminine, or neuter. It is singular, however, and it's nominative. Megala is an adjective. Its gender is neuter, number is plural, and case is either nominative or accusative because it's the exact same form in the nominative and accusative. For that matter, it's the same form in the vocative as well. Now for a new concept, participles. Participles is not its own part of speech because participles are adjectives. Adjectives is a part of speech. Participles are a special kind of adjectives. So because they are adjectives, like all other adjectives, they show gender, number, and case. So for example, luomenos, the gender is masculine, the number is singular, and the case is nominative. Participles are adjectives, but I told you they're a special kind of adjective. Specifically, they're a verbal adjective. And as a verbal adjective, in addition to showing gender, number, and case, they show tense, voice, and mood. So our example, luomenos, is present tense, middle voice, and the mood we're going to call participle. Participle, like infinitive, is not technically a mood, but it's easiest to think of it that way so that it goes in that last slot. So if I ask you to parse a participle, you need to give me 6 things: gender, number, case, tense, voice, and mood, where the mood is always participle. Now I'm sure you've noticed by now that there are many parts of speech that are indeclinable. Indeclinable means that the endings never ever change. So you can't parse it. Parse means take apart, because there's only one form. There's nothing to take apart. So, for example, adverbs are indeclinable, like the adverb bradeos, which means slowly. It only has one form that never changes. Conjunctions are indeclinable, like the conjunction kai, which means and. Particles like men and de are indeclinable, and prepositions like ek, which means from, are all indeclinable. So the forms never change, so there's nothing to parse or take apart. The end.